Hello everyone, my name is Louis Jayanata. I'm from Indonesia. I'm an avid chess player and a second year medical student. So in this video introduction, I would like to explain about the Classical Sicilian Defense, the history, a bit about the history, the different options that white can choose on move 6, and a couple of reasons why you may want to play the Classical Sicilian from the black side as compared to, for example, the Najdorf or the Dragon, or those other variations. So first off, we will get to the starting position. After e4, we play the Sicilian defense with c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, and the move here, knight c6. So instead of the modern approach of a6 and very deeply analyzed move that in the Najdorf, we will play the move knight c6 here. And there are many options for white from this point on, but we will discuss that later. First off, I would like to discuss a bit about the history. So this Classical Sicilian Defense was introduced in the 19th century, and it was led by the Paulsen brothers, Wilfrid and Louis Paulsen. And Pillsbury was also known to play this move bishop e2, just a more calm approach, and this move has been known to not really give black any problems, but this is definitely one of the options that white can choose. Next, Sozin, Soviet chess master, also proposed this move, bishop c4, in the 1930s, and we all know that this is now called the Fischer-Sozin, very popular and Bobby Fischer's favorite weapon against both the Classical Sicilian and the Najdorf. And in the end of the 1930s, Alekhine and Paul Keres introduced the move bishop g5, which is probably the most theoretical Classical Sicilian defense, along with bishop c4. Next, in the 1950s and 1960s, there are many great players that have played this from the black side, notably Taimanov, F.M. Geller, Mikhail Tal, Max Uwe, Botvinnik, Smyslov, Petrosian, Bronstein, and Boris Spassky. They all employed the Classical Sicilian from time to time. Also, we know that Garry Kasparov in his earlier years played the Classical Sicilian before switching to the Najdorf. So we know that based on these great names that this is definitely a sound opening and definitely a weapon that we can choose from the black side. Next, a couple of reasons as to why you may want to play the Classical Sicilian. I have 7 reasons. Firstly, it's not as popular as the Najdorf in modern play, and thus it hasn't been analyzed to death in modern chess with the help of chess engines, unlike the Najdorf, which has taken the spotlight in modern chess on the theoretical discussions. And thus, as a result of this change in focus of the Sicilian defense, we as Classical Sicilian defense players have more experience in this, and our opponents may not be as well versed in these variations as we are. The next reason is that the plans in the Classical Sicilian defense are very straightforward, and the standard ideas flow very well, and they're very distinct. This will maybe be backed up in further videos explaining specific variations in this opening. The third reason is that once we add our own analysis with the help of chess engines to the mix, we can discover new resources, and you will soon find that the Classical Sicilian defense is both sound, dynamic, gives black many opportunities to fight for advantage, and more than that, it's just fun to play. Okay, and the fourth reason is that there aren't as many theoretical variations to explore compared to the Najdorf. So here I would like to explain that there are 2 main moves that we can see in the database that are most often played. The move bishop g5, which is probably the strongest reply to the Classical Sicilian defense. Bishop c4, which can also get into the Velimirovich attack after bishop e3, queen e2, long castles, and often white plays rook g1, g4, g5, and it gets very sharp from there. Those two moves are the ones that are of main concern. But other moves such as bishop e2, f3, g3, h3, and f4, all of these other variations are pretty much sidelines compared to bishop g5 and bishop c4, and thus they're not as critical, and often black can equalize in the middle game from those moves. And so compared to Najdorf, where essentially every single move is possible. So f4 is possible, it is also critical. Bishop c4 is very sharp, very critical. Bishop g5 also. Bishop e2 is also very tough to break. And even some sidelines such as queen d3 have been employed in top level grandmaster practice, and it's not easy at all to break down. As compared to these classical Sicilian, where bishop g5 and bishop c4 are basically the only two things that we need to be concerned about. The next reason, the fifth reason as to why you may want to play the Classical Sicilian is that it is more flexible and definitely more sound than the dragon. So in this position, if we play g6, it is this is known as Sicilian dragon, and basically white can choose to go for the English attack after bishop e3, f3, queen d2, castles long, and then g4, h4, h5, and it's going to be very dangerous. And it's really highly theoretical and very dangerous to play from the black side. So just to get rid of all of these options, after knight c6, we can actually often transpose to the dragon, but try to get a better version through the move order. So that is the seventh reason, is that we can often transpose. That is the next reason, is that we can often transpose to the dragon, but get a slightly better version where it is more positionally sound. And the next reason, the final reason, is probably that the idea to play this is the Classical Sicilian is to stay flexible and respond to what white is going to do. So we know that bishop c4 and bishop g5, we have a specific set of setups that we want to play against those, and against everything else, they're basically just sidelines. And essentially that is the reason as to why you want to choose this opening. Yeah, and hopefully this video has maybe enlightened you a bit about the Classical Sicilian Defense and why you may want to play this opening. So the references that I used to make this video series are going to be in the description down below, as always. The PGNs are also going to be available there every time I explain a specific variation in this opening. So thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I will be releasing more videos soon on the Classical Sicilian Defense in the upcoming weeks and months. Thank you very much. Goodbye.